A few months ago, he was in Japan. Last weekend, he was at Olympia watching his fighter Travis Dickerson walk away with prize fights, and the light heavyweights too. This weekend, on Saturday, at the Brentwood Centre, he'll be in his familiar spot at ringside, leaning on the canvas in a neutral corner, watching his fighters and shouting at them through his fingers so the referee doesn't think he's talking. It's time for Frank Maloney to be back on the show. Good evening, Frank.
Hello, Steve, you all right?
How'd you get away with that, Frank? You sit there, you've got your head under the bottom rope, you've got your hand over your mouth, you're shouting instructions, and when the referee looks at you, you hold your hands out like you're not screaming.
No, well, I've always done it, and I mean, some referees do tell me off and some let me away with it, but
Yeah.
I do step back a bit now because, well, football managers are allowed to have a technical area, so should boxing people.
Oh, listen, I'm on your side. It's a nice. I think it'd be quite good if there was a proper technical area, because then people could watch. People say, look at him down there jumping around. You know, up in Liverpool, when Nathan Cleverly wasn't looking too clever against that awkward Frenchman, Frank Warren jumped up and was really nearly in the corner.
Well, let me tell you,
him
they
to
were
shake
also
his
jumping
boots.
up when Bellew was on the floor from my man, Oval McKee.
I know, of course they were.
I thought Dean Powell was going to get in the ring and help him up.
Which, of course, is illegal. Listen, Frank, this show at the weekend, Jason Booth back in business against Jamie Arthur, Commonwealth Super Bantam.
Commonwealth and British title.
Oh, it's a
both
British
titles
one.
on the
Oh,
line.
well done. That's good going. It's a decent little show, isn't it? Nice little show. It's not the one you're playing, but it's a nice little show.
Yeah, I mean, the top of the bill is not a local top of the bill, but it is a good top of the bill for boxing connoisseurs, and the winner of that will be the official mandatory challenger to Kiko Martinez for the vacant EBU Super Bantamweight title.
Which is good going.
So there's everything to play for the winner, and I know it's one of the oldest sayings in boxing. There is nowhere for the loser to go, because both these, one guy's the Commonwealth champion,
point.
one guy's the British champion. They've fought at all levels, and they're both approaching the. I think one's 32 and one's 30, so they're both sort of. And for small guys, that's quite old.
Yeah, and they do sort of. Yeah, when whoever wins needs to win half decently as well. A couple of people have sent in text asking about what's planned for Rendell. I had Rendell on at Christmas. He sounded well. What's planned for Rendell?
Well, unfortunately, I thought Rendell was the mandatory for the EBU title because he gave it up voluntary. He lost to one of probably the best super bantamweights in the world in Japan on points. And when they were, when the title was declared vacant and Kiko Martinez was nominated. And I thought, well, why have they nominated Kiko Martinez? Rendell Munro's number one and Jason Booth's number two. Why aren't one of these? So, obviously, doing my job, I jumped on the telephone, started. And then I find out, not long ago, the EBU changed the rule that a guy can't lose and then fight for the EBU title. Which is a stupid rule, because if you lose at world title level, which both Jason Booth and Rendell Munro did. I think, they're stepping up a level. So as long as they're not knocked out, and both of them went the distance and lost on points.
Yeah.
So I think they should. And in fairness to the British Boxing Board of Control, they are going to try and get that rule overturned at the next.
Are they going to try and they're going to pump for you a little bit?
EBU, yeah.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense.
So Rendell will be out on sometime in March, and then he will fight the winner of Kiko Martinez and Jamie Arthur and Jason Booth.
Or Jamie Arthur, Jason Booth. And now a couple of other people on from various websites, because, I like to go on and stir people up a little bit.
I know you cause a lot of trouble.
Listen, I try to let people know. I mean, listen, before Ringside came along, remember, Frank, this is all we had for 18 months, me talking on here on a Thursday night.
Boxing alive, Steve. That's what we love about you.
Listen, I do my bit. Ishii on Eastside wants to know Sykes and Buckland 2. I know you'd rather there wasn't a Sykes and Buckland number 1, but what about Sykes and Buckland 2?
Well, let's look at it more. April, you will see Gary Sykes fighting Carl Johansson.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Johansson was supposed to fight Anthony Corolla, but he got offered a shot at the lightweight title.
Yep. And
for some unknown reason, his team advised him to step up and fight my fighter from Liverpool,
John Watson. I like John Watson. Yeah.
Who was unlucky in his fight against Gavin Rees, who unfortunately has failed a medical, and now the title is the title vacant, and Watson and Corolla will fight on
next weekend, isn't it? Yeah. I think it's the next weekend. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll be in Liverpool that weekend, so I'm getting around.
Yeah, you are, son. You're moving on. And finally, Frank, and thanks for coming on. David Price. Where are we with David Price? Lots of heavyweights out there. They've got to have some.
Forget the heavyweights. I've got the two best heavyweights in the country, and I don't care if Mick Hennessy, Frank Maloney, anyone wants to get on your telephone and start screaming. David Price
Big
and
Tom
Tom Dallas are the best two heavyweights in the country. And then I think I've also got one of the most experienced heavyweights in John McDermott. So, you know, Pricey I'm pushing a little bit more than Dallas because of his amateur experience. He's had a little bit more amateur experience and he's a little bit more in front of Dallas.
Yeah.
But Pricey's fighting his first 10-rounder this Friday night at Brentwood against...
This Saturday night.
This Saturday night against a nice big South African who's...
Big old lump. We like big lumps.
I forgot his name, actually. No, he's in very good condition. I actually went to meet him today.
Okay.
James Russell, who I trust more than anybody in boxing, said, Frank, you might have made a mistake. This guy actually looks fit and he looks like he's come here to win.
That's good. We like them when they look fit. Listen, Frank, it's been a pleasure having you on. I'll speak to you in a few weeks' time. And well done for Travis Dickinson last week.
Yeah, the first manager to have two brothers win prize fighter. And I don't even like prize fighter. Isn't that funny?
Hey, listen, it gives your fighter 32 grand and gave us a few frills and spills. Frank Maloney, thanks very much indeed. Now, a good